Good evening, everyone. How are you guys tonight? It is Tuesday night. I know it's a little off. Usually you catch me on Thursday evenings. My name is Brandy. I am with Brushed by Brandy. I am a brand ambassador for WoodUbend Moldings, and I'm here actually tonight to talk to you guys a little bit about WoodUbend. So WoodUbend is really fun to work with, you guys. And let me show you a little bit what I'm working on. So I have these matching chests here. It's two of them. They're a set. And we want to make them into, they're custom order. They're for a customer. And so we want to make them into something really ornate and luxurious, and she wants kind of romantic and soft. And when I think of romantic and luxurious, I think of molded out, decked out moldings, pieces with lots of curvature and details, and these are the opposite of that. So, but what's so cool is I can take my WoodUbend moldings and I'll transform this over the course of this live. We're going to turn these into something completely different than what they're starting at. And then I can take those moldings and with a painted finish, I'm going to really deck these chests out. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's see. So WoodUbend moldings. If you guys aren't familiar, WoodUbend is a composite molding, and when you first start with it, they start in a rigid state. Like I couldn't try to bend this. If I tried to move it, it would snap. But once you add heat to this, it gives flexibility, and you can bend it to the curvature of your furniture piece, any shape that you want. So I don't have a lot of curves on this, but I'm going to create some with my WoodUbend. You smell something? Like dinner? Or?
It's about as close as you're getting.
It's the Brushed by Brandy cooking show tonight. We have a little meal brewing up right here. This is as close to cooking as you get to in our house. This is a crock pot, you guys. And
it's a what?
In here.
What is it? Contraption?
It's a crock pot.
Crock is something.
So look what happens. I've had these sitting in here for about, I don't know, I turned it on about, what, 20 minutes ago? And look at my moldings. Look at this rope. It goes from a rigid state to now I can unroll it, and I'm going to curve it around these pieces and really deck them out. So let's get started adding our WoodUbend. I need a pair of scissors. Actually, can you reach behind me in that little blue caddy?
Oh gosh, now I gotta work now.
I know, it's a lot to add.
It's a crock pot.
Actually, just give me the whole caddy because there's a couple things in there. I'm gonna get my X-Acto knife out too. So these are so flexible, but they're also really easy to cut. So tonight for cutting, I'm going to use a pair of scissors, and I'm going to use also an X-Acto knife I like to use for cutting. So we're going to use the rope moldings tonight. Somewhere in here I've got an X-Acto knife. All right,
so,
do me a favor while you're hanging out over there. Can you? It's got a black hand on it.
What am I looking for?
Make yourself useful over there.
What am I looking for?
Okay.
What am I looking for?
An X-Acto knife, black handle. So aside from cutting, I'm going to have a pair of scissors. I like to attach my WoodUbend with Titebond Quick and Thick. So Quick and Thick is a adhesive, and it's a multi-surface adhesive. So I can use this on, I'm going to read it from the label, wood, pottery, ceramic, stone, glass, fabric. So if you want to put your WoodUbend on any of those surfaces, you can use WoodUbend with all, or I mean, you can use your Titebond with all of them. So I like that this is so universal. And then I also have out some tape because while my glue is setting up, I may need to tape these in place.
So once you've heated, how much playtime do you have with these?
You've got a few minutes. I mean, so you'll notice I threw that molding right back into my crock pot. So I will take what I'm going to use immediately and play with that. And what you don't need, just leave it sitting in there. The crock pot's good. You can. Some people also use a hot plate. You can use a heat gun. You can use a hair dryer. You might see me use my heat gun tonight as well. And then as far as design, here's kind of what I'm thinking for my design. I've got a whole bunch of options out. But what I'm thinking is I want to add a ribbon around this drawer. And the reason I want to do that is because I want to make this drawer appear smaller than the other ones, more like an accent drawer, even though it's full size. I want to kind of make this look like it's got a small accent drawer and then give a focus to this. So I'm probably going to create some kind of oval in the center of this section here. And then I'm going to section this off to look like a separate drawer. And then I'm going to use this at the top of my oval, and then I'll put this guy up here with my rope molding so it kind of ties in. So it'll start coming together. You guys will see it as I'm going. It's fine. If you can't find it, don't worry. I'll just use
So
my
can I
scissors.
lie to you and just get your razor blade?
No. Oh, well, yeah, if you found a razor blade, that's good. Otherwise, it's fine. I'll just use my scissors. Okay, so I want to take this rope molding. Let me show you guys this up close. It's got, oh, I just touched my crock pot and it's really hot.
That's what they do. They actually warm
Yeah,
up.
it really does. So this has kind of a leaf design, but it's also got a molding on the top that makes it slightly different at the top than the bottom. So I want this section to go down towards the bottom. And where I want to run this rope is I'm going to wrap it to the sides of my piece too. But I want to run it right along this line right here. So I'm going to start out by doing that. So let me move this a little bit. Actually, I'd probably be better off on the other side of this. Grab all my gear over here. So I'm not sitting in front of my piece.
Yeah, it's kind of rude.
Yeah, these are big. I think they're bigger than you notice. They're like 3 feet wide, I think. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut this to length. I made sure that this is a rope that I've got extra of. So I've got plenty of this molding. So I'm going to cut it, and then if I need to heat it up again, I can. And I'm going to go ahead and cut it to the size of my piece. So I just kind of bent it right there, and that lets me know where I can hit it with my scissors. I cut it a little bit long. I'd rather have it longer than anything. And then, see, this is still flexible. I've been playing with this for a few minutes now. It's starting to get a little more rigid, but I'm going to throw this back into my crock pot. Keep wanting, it sounds like I'm saying crock pot.
Oh, you're a crackpot already.
So let me show you. After that few minutes of time, it's getting a little rigid. It's not as floppy as it was when I first started. But now that I've got the correct length, let me go ahead and heat this. And I'm going to heat it a few times. But you can heat it and let it cool. Heat it and let it cool as many times as you need to. I like it to be really nice and soft when I'm putting it on the actual piece itself though. And it just takes a minute of heating it with the heat gun and it's back to soft again. So then I'm going to take my Quick and Thick and I'm going to hit the back of this molding. And I want enough to cover the back of my molding, but you know, not so much that it's squishing out the sides excessively. So I'm just back buttering my WoodUbend. Am I working down too low?
There you go. What are you using?
This is Type-On Quick and Thick. It's an adhesive. I use this for everything, you guys. I use this for all kinds of moldings. So I'm just giving myself a nice coat all across the back. It's pretty thin, but making sure that I cover. And then when I put this on, when I seat it to my piece, it's going to kind of smash a little bit of that glue out and I'll just clean it off. And then I'm going to place this right on this line in between these drawers.
I was keeping it to myself, wondering where Brittany was, and of course now it's the drinking game. What's the?
Okay. What's the word tonight?
We don't know yet whether we're
Okay.
going WoodUbend or Quick and Thick.
You guys like Quick and Thick? I don't know. And then I like to heat it on my piece too, because this is going to seat it to my piece. So no piece, especially vintage furniture, is perfectly flat. It's like the walls in your house. They're not perfectly flat. Even if they look totally flat, they're not. So by heating it to my piece, it's going to mold exactly to the front of this piece. And I'm not going to have any gaps in between the molding and my furniture piece itself. I'm just using a heat gun right now. Trying to keep my fingers out of the way because my heat gun does get hot.
Now, do you prefer that glue over wood glue?
It is a wood glue. It is a wood glue. It's just, so Type-On is a brand of wood glue. Nope, not falling for it. You guys are going to be stone cold sober by the end of this show. Not playing your game, unless I can drink too. Okay, and then the little edges, I left them a little long, so I can come back, and this is sandable too, so I could just sand these little edges.
Let's go ahead and move
because I
that.
do want to wrap this molding.
Cord's right in the.
Oh, it's right there. I do want to wrap this molding onto the sides of my piece as well, because I'm going to continue the design onto the sides. And I want to make it look like there's some delineation between this top part of the chest and then down here. Okay, so I told you guys that I want to add like a little medallion or something up here. A keyhole would be cute. Oh, you know what? This guy would be cute. I like this because it's reminiscent of the shape of the hardware. You guys see that? That would be really cute. But I want to put stripes on this top part. And it's much easier to not have to try to stripe around a medallion. So when you see them finished, I will have a medallion up at the top. Something in this range here. I know I like this guy too.
Probably that.
I think this one.
I mean, my opinion really doesn't matter, but that
No.
oval kind of throws me off because it's not centered with the other two.
Well, where
The
I'm
handles.
holding it, you mean?
Well, no, you can't. Never mind.
How about here? This
Oh
is-
my gosh.
No.
I meant
here.
height-wise, not
Right here.
even in the center of the
Here.
piece. This way, vertically.
Here.
Oh my
You want
gosh.
to go up here?
Really? Is it edible?
I was looking at these guys too. These would be super cute, but my drawers aren't tall enough.
What are you looking at?
These guys, these boys here, these ladies. I don't know. There's so many choices. It makes me feel indecisive. Oh, this was the other choice I was looking at. It's just doing a
Yes,
keyhole.
because it's bigger than the handles.
That's smaller than the handle.
Not that one! Oh man.
So those are a couple options. I don't think I could go wrong with any of them. The keyhole's pretty cute. That would be cute because then, so I'm picturing kind of a metallic white almost, like a pearl color with pearlescent glaze over it, so it's got some shimmer. Maybe some silver in there, blended together. And so all these accents I do will be in silver. Yeah, I kind of like that. I'll leave those two out. So this guy's out. This was voted off the
Oh my
island.
gosh.
Yeah, all right. you
It's
good?
bigger than the handles, so it doesn't look right.
Smaller than handles? What?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
So not going there.
So I talked about that I'm going to take now another piece of molding and I'm going to put it down here. And I was looking at one of these floral swags. I think I'm going to go with this. And this is going to start off, and then I'm going to let my rope molding lead off the edges and kind of come around and give me a frame.
Now, where do you pick this stuff up?
So I put my link above in the post. Most of the moldings that I'm using tonight are available through Dixie Belle. You can order these through Dixie Belle at the link above in the post. You can also find a retailer at WoodUbend.com that carries just the moldings. There are a lot of retailers that carry the moldings, and some of them have more variety than what you might find on Dixie Belle. So you can go look. There's hundreds of designs. Hundreds of designs. And if there's something specific you want, you can find a retailer and see if they have that in stock or can order it from you. Ooh, this could go this way too. See what I mean? It's like a candy store.
Oh my gosh.
I know. So this one I don't have in my crock pot, so I'm going to go ahead and heat this one up.
It's like watching paint dry.
No, that's...
Oh, same show.
So now, you guys saw how rigid it was when I first started. Now it's totally bendy. So this is a flat front chest, but if I wanted to take this and I had some curvature to my piece, now would be the time that I could do that. See, I could put this on a fully curved piece, and you can get these to 90-degree angles. I mean, look at...
Oh, look, it's a tiara.
And because it's, as long as it's not, it doesn't cool down, you could bend this. I mean, and then, you know, if it does break, they just sandwich right back together again. You just heat it right back up again and then create a seam and you can sandwich them right back together.
Okay, so serious question. What are you using to put this on? This is a serious question.
With a serious face that I'm going to believe it. All right, get your drinks ready. I'm using Tide Bond Quick and Thick. So Tide Bond is a brand of wood glue, and the Quick and Thick is because it's quick and it's thick. It sets up quickly and it goes on nice and thick. So when I put a molding on here, it's not going to want to migrate down the front of my piece while the glue drips out from the bottom of it. That's why I like the Quick and Thick version of Tide Bond. That doesn't count. That's what I'm going to say. I'm just going to say it. The Tide Bond, the Quick and Thick version. All right, and then same as I did before, I'm going to put this on my piece, and then I like to heat it.
Oh, Brittany, responsibilities. She had to feed the kids first. She didn't get the wine ready.
Always the kids. So that just fell off, so let me get that back on again. And then I'm going to heat it with my heat gun. And then I can just seat it right into my piece, and it almost melts into the front of the furniture piece so that it's going to look like an original molding on this furniture piece.
But just to be clear, when you're heating it and then you apply the pressure, it's not distorting the image or the item.
No, it's not that fragile at all. No, not at all. I mean,
it hasn't been asked, but before it's asked.
Okay, and then
Whoa.
I'm going to double check myself and just make sure this is kind of centered, and it's not.
What is that thing you have in your hand?
I know. It's weird, huh?
What the heck?
So I need to come this way, actually. I'll grab baby wipes. Behind you on my counter.
Oh, I gotta work again?
Pink package.
This is garbage.
Over here.
Sorry guys, here comes the cord.
Yeah, there. So this is my spot right here. Okay, so now I'm just going to take a baby wipe, and because I slid that, I've got a little bit of excess glue. So I'm just going to wipe that away from my furniture piece. And that way I won't have any unevenness in my paint caused by the glue. There, so I just cleaned that up. All right. So now my plan is I'm going to use this to lead off, and I'm going to create an oval on the front of my piece. You guys see what I'm talking about? So we're going to take a molding like this, and we're going to make it get bendy. So for this, I'm going to use a little bit skinnier of a molding, and this is a piece that I got left over from another project. So I'm going to try to use as much of this as I can. And here's my plan. So it's nice and soft coming out of my crock pot. And then I'm going to cut it around.
Oh yeah.
Give myself some glue. Just generic glue.
Really?
No.
That's so weird. Do you even want to turn the label?
Nope.
No? No label recognition? Alright.
Okay, I'm not going to cut this yet. But I do need my tape.
Good thing.
Yeah, because it's going to take me a couple minutes to get all the way around and get it perfectly shaped. And I'm going to heat it, and it's going to cool a couple times, and that's okay. It's going to take me a little bit of time to do this.
It's okay, Stacy. I'm the same way. That's why I giggle.
What?
Oh, the OCD, it wasn't centered. And
I centered it.
I know, now it is.
You guys proud of me?
Easy killer.
I know. It's because I'm sitting off to one side. Things always are going to look a little different. Okay, so I will cut this in between my drawers, but before I do that, I'm going to make sure I've got my shape perfectly. So this is starting to get a little rigid, and I don't want to break it, so I'm going to go ahead and just heat it again to soften it.
Oh, executive decision time.
What's that?
If you say glue, it works.
Oh, that works?
Yeah.
Dang it.
We're going to do this.
Adhesive.
Huh?
Adhesive.
Same thing. So just to kind of recap, as far as your crock pot idea,
Yes.
What exactly are you doing there?
You're gonna look at $3.75 for 4 hours. Add a little bit of salt and pepper for flavor.
When it starts to smoke.
Yeah. Leave your home.
It's not a smoker.
Okay, so can you kind of see where I'm going? And I'll just seam together at that end. I'm going to go over to that side. But I'm just going to tape this for now, because I want to make sure that I get my curvature the same on both sides and everything before I cut any of this.
A hairdryer would work.
Yeah,
right?
A hairdryer absolutely works. Hairdryer works. So this little crock pot, actually, this crock pot that I'm working on.
I'm
going to move this up
There's a
little
crock
bit.
pot operating the crock pot.
This little crock pot here. So something like this, and I can kind of fix the curvature of this edge here. I got it at the Goodwill, and it's actually it's not my kitchen crock pot. I'm not going to go make, chicken casserole in this when I'm done. I have a crock pot just for my workspace. It was like $5 at the thrift store. That's what I tell Sean anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have any we don't have any embarrassing stories. We haven't gone out.
No, we never have embarrassing stories.
Not anymore. No.
Never.
About me. No.
You'd like
No?
to think I don't have any embarrassing stories about you. 20 years in, you better believe I got some stories about you.
Gosh. Time to call it a day.
Got some just from last night.
Throwing in the towel.
Oh. So what do you guys think? Can you see my design? I've got this guy here. Oh, it's going to be so pretty. From super plain front. So now, when I'm done with this tonight, we'll have the one next to it to kind of compare it to. So this is another one. This is the same molding. So this will take probably to do both of these pieces. It will take probably 2 of these ropes.
And then you're just going to shape it, reheat.
Yep, I'm going to reheat it a couple times and shape it. Right now I'm just going to get my rough design out, and then I'll work it slowly around the curve. Oh no, there we go. Had a little funky piece right on the end. I was going to cut it, but it just bent right off. So these are nice and soft coming out of the crock pot. Coming out of the crock pot.
So Joe wants to know if I work outside of the house.
Oh, does anybody work outside of the house right now? How do you answer that?
One of those things that
I know.
I was just mentioning that the other day, that it's coming with the age. I remember the day in my 20s where I could work outside with no problem.
No.
Now I just hunt for shade.
No, well, Sean worked from home even before COVID came along. He works from home. We have a home office. He actually does sit at his desk all day and work.
Thanks for that.
At least that's what he tells me he does. I don't know. A paycheck comes, so I don't ask questions. It's better that way. All right, and then let me figure about how much I need, and then I'm going to cut this longer piece. So I could use one seamless piece, but I'm going to go ahead and just seam this together because I'm using a scrap from another project.
You have spilled the
it doesn't spill.
glue.
It doesn't spill.
Oh, that's why, because it's thick.
Quick and it's
Has nothing
thick.
to do with it being quick if it
Yeah.
doesn't spill.
I'm going to take this guy right here. Where'd my tape go? You want to tell him what you do?
Huh?
Sean works for a bank. Not like a bank branch. He works in back office for a bank. He works in lending.
I do a lot of sleeping under my desk.
This is going to be cute, right? Once I get this curvature perfected, and you can kind of see that this gives me some shape that I can shade and add detail around. We're going to add some, floral transfers and stuff, and this will give me something to really focus around instead of just the flat front of this piece. Now, one thing I want to do is I want to make sure that I make this into more of an oval. I don't want it to turn into a circle. So I'm going to have to clean up some of this curvature.
Yeah, it's hot enough in here already.
Yeah, it's 5
Don't go ahead and
degrees
leave
in here.
the heat gun going.
I'm going to go ahead and cut this molding. I'm going to cut it a little bit long. I just used a pair of scissors. I'm going to throw this section back into my crock pot. Let me heat this tail.
Should I say what
Oh,
I do?
see, I just broke it, but that's okay.
I can't even look at you right now.
But those pieces, well, they just seam right back together. You know how when I get it hot and I just sandwich it into my piece, it will just smush back together right along that seam.
So Claudia, these are individual drawers.
Yeah, these are 3 separate drawers. So I will cut these, but I don't want to make any cuts until I get my design laid out.
Poor Jody. She's been going into, so she's in lending apparently, and she's been having to go into the office every day.
Really? So
yes, I'm in lending as well.
My sister works in banking compliance, and they were saying that they wanted them to come back in too, and then they backed out on it and said, no, never mind, it's not worth the risk, everybody stay home. In compliance, they don't meet with customers at all. So I just think employers don't really know what to do right now. They're just kind of winging it.
Oh, what's the temp outside? 200 and something?
Yeah, 75.
That's probably like 95, maybe triple digits.
Yeah, we might be being dramatic.
Yeah.
So unlike us. And we're sitting in an air-conditioned, insulated space. But anyway.
Got an air conditioner pointed at me. It's an insulated garage. It's hot out.
Okay. Yeah. So I kind of want to squish these ends up. I don't want it to become a circle. I could also bring it down here. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I need to just bring this guy and have it lead off from down there. Because I do want it to become an oval, not a circle.
So do you have a particular heat brand, like a gun brand that you use?
My heat gun is a DeWalt, but no particular brand. If you have another brand, it would work just fine. My hair dryer is a Revlon. You know, it doesn't make any difference.
Do. We're getting there.
Do you like that better, or should I pump it back up? I think I might like it back up. But see, I can play around with my design on this.
I like it better lower.
You liked it lower?
But I'm gonna get outvoted, I'm sure.
I think it makes more sense coming off like that point right there. I will add more glue to this once I get my design ironed out. For right now, I kind of feel like this section right here is going to be pretty good. And I'm going to keep this a little bit because I want to bend this. I want it to come to kind of a narrow curve. It's a little wide right now.
Oh, Brittany's got a point. If you put the rope down a little lower, it looks like a wedding ring. We don't want to do that.
What's wrong with the wedding ring? Although that's spoken from your wife who hasn't worn a wedding ring in at least a decade.
Yeah, I'm so glad there was money thrown at that one.
Dating game.
Yeah.
To you who wears yours religiously. But
Yep.
why wouldn't you when you're married to me? Oh, that's right.
No regrets.
Cheaper to keep her, that's what I figured. Alright, so I feel like now I'm getting where I want to be. And then I'll flatten this baby out down here, and I think I'm going to need to cut this as I get closer. But I feel like I could, I can commit. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on this. So I did put a little bit of glue at the top, but it's not enough that I can't still pop it off. Pop this tape off here.
That's some pretty good glue. What kind of glue is that?
Elmer's. Elmer's tool. I make my own glue.
Wow.
From old, from life.
Oh man,
from
just stop. Yeah, just.
All right, I would really. You had gotten me a razor blade, right?
In theory,
How'd
yeah, it's
that-
probably where this box is.
how'd
See
that
it right
go?
there? You just set it right on there. Where is it?
Okay, I'm gonna cut this at my drawer, which is right here. It's going to cut much easier when it's nice and squishy. I'm
Oh man.
Squish that spot up right here. I'm just using a straight razor blade.
Yeah, he's got a point. I'm just going to open the drawers. Now we're getting there.
I mean, drawers are kind of a luxury, and then I'm going to pop this down because there's a mold.
You're not speaking from experience, I hope.
Okay, so there's a little lip right here. I skipped over that. I ran it right up to the lip, and then I'm gonna come down to where this next drawer closes.
In theory?
Yeah, it feels like it should close tighter, but. And I'm gonna heat this bottom piece again and do the same thing down here.
Looks like it kicks out too far.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick that back up. This right here.
The center of it.
Like that.
Oh. Oh, there you go.
Patience, Gressa.
Oh man. Oh man.
These razor blades.
Karen says good morning from Australia.
Good morning. And I'm gonna cut this piece right here. And I feel like I can commit on this one, so I'm gonna add my glue.
I think you're gonna want to stand back a second. Just to confirm.
Yeah, is it looking a little wonky?
Yeah. I don't,
Really
I don't want to hold back.
Take your time.
Yeah. Don't put too much of that there quicken dick on.
Take that bad boy out a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. That's nice. We're getting there.
How am I doing? But I get to play with it, see? I don't worry about that. And this is cut a little long, so if I need to, I can move.
I agree. In the end, it works out.
Yeah, it always does. I've done this before. I'm not gonna.
Oh, this isn't your first go round?
This is my first rodeo. I'm not gonna leave it if it looks messed up. I'm gonna fix it. All right, let's get this thing. Where you're going.
Brittany says she picked a good word for tonight. The kids got to put themselves to bed.
Brittany's probably just watching on mute, just drinking.
Yeah. Oh, look, the kids need to be fed as you're just throwing slop at them. Here you go.
Mine are getting a crock pot of WoodUbend for dinner tonight.
Ta-da!
Alright, I'm going to get my baby wipe back out again. Clean up my glue. Oh yeah, that's super wonky right there.
Oh, it only counts when you think it.
Like putting a puzzle together.
Backwards.
Upside down. In the dark.
At an angle.
I like it. We're okay, right? Alright, let's come over here and see what's going on. This guy right here, I think we can cut. Get this one squishy.
You ever use templates to make these shapes? Or you just eyeball it every time?
No, you know what actually I've used before is a paper plate like this, and then I can get my curvature.
Oh, there you go, Jackie.
Yeah, so I can find a radius off of just about anything. You know, here's my tape roll, that's a little too small. But yeah, I'll totally get out whatever tools I have available. But the main purpose here is I want to show you guys how much you can play with this. And
you can keep going back to it.
You can keep going back to it. Move it around, heat it up again. piece right here I cracked. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take...
Huh? Huh?
I'm going to take this gray bottle.
So close.
You guys are stone cold sober tonight. And I'm just going to seat those together, and then when I heat it up, you will not even know that that ever existed. So I like to put on my WoodUbend before my paint, and that way when I paint it, it paints right along with my piece, and it looks like it was always a part of my original piece. Except for up here, like where I want to do my stripe technique, I'm going to put that on over top. You can paint this with your Dixie Belle paint. I could spray paint this if I wanted it to be, you know, a metallic color. I could spray paint it beforehand. You can stain your WoodUbend. So I could make this a wood stain detail on top of a painted finish, and then it's going to look like I preserved part of the wood. See, it's starting to come together. You guys doubt me all the time.
Well, that is my job, right?
Well, you, I expect it from. I have showed you 100 times at least that pieces always go through an ugly phase.
Sorry, Gil. Does Brandy ever get stressed?
Never. Yeah, no, cool as a cucumber.
She's so calm.
I am the most high-strung, anxious person you will ever meet. Go back and watch some of my early lives from a few years ago, and they are the most rigid, uncomfortable thing to watch ever. If you want to feel uncomfortable tonight, you want to go watch some of my early lives. They make me uncomfortable. Everything makes me uncomfortable. I am very anxious. Very, very, very anxious. But this is something, so I'm doing it on camera right now. I want to cut this a little bit too long. I'm not 100% sure on this curvature yet. I'm doing this on camera, but this is something I would just sit and do quietly and, you know, pay attention to. It's very, all right, we're to our last piece. And also, I want to reiterate too, if you're hesitant to do this, everything takes 10 times longer on camera. If I was just doing this quietly, sitting centered on my piece, not trying to talk at the same time, I would be done with this 2 hours ago.
Well, look who came to the table. Sheila's here.
Hey, Sheila. Okay, and then let's go ahead and heat this, get it glued on, and then I'm going to cut, and I'm going to sandwich a seam together down at the bottom. Sheila, on tonight's cooking show, we're baking up some WoodUbend.
What is that? You got to give me this one.
All right, I'll give you one, because we're getting close to the end. Actually, here's what I'm going to do.
And Sheila's on. What is that?
I'm going to say it 10 times in succession, just so you guys are toasted.
Brittany's never going to log off.
I'm attaching this all with Type On Quick and Pick.
Uh-huh.
So Type On Quick and Pick is
Let's do this. Keep it going.
It's an adhesive that you can use on
just
wood,
about anything.
Glass, metal, plastic.
So if I was going to purchase that, what would I look up to purchase it?
You can go to, I get mine at Lowe's. You can go to Lowe's. Amazon carries it. So you just look for Type On Quick and Pick on Lowe's, Amazon. The regular Type On wood glue will work as well. Dixie Belle carries regular Type On wood glue, and that works as well. It's just a thinner consistency. It's not quick and it's not thick. So it just takes a little longer to dry, in which case you would just tape your WoodUbend in place, and then any wood glue will work.
It's a good thing the camera guy doesn't have to play the drinking game.
It's a good thing you came out here drunk tonight.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna cut it, guys. This is it. This is the moment you've been waiting for.
You ever put the piece on its back to put the WoodUbend on?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a huge fan of the whatever works method. If that works and it's easier to see, yeah, I would rather be sitting at a different angle. Like, I don't like this part right here from the angle that I'm at, but I can fix it. My glue's not set up yet. I can come back and I can play with this. Oh, there it is. I've been looking for you.
So did you send a bottle of this to Sheila?
I did.
You know, she's trying to make some money on this.
Yeah, I don't blame her. It's worth a lot of money. It's worth a lot of money. It's the one and only signed,
Oh, it's autographed. Price went up to 60. It was at 50.
The one and only signed bottle of Type On Quick and Thick, signed by Brushed by Brandy. You can use it at home for your own WoodUbend, or you can sell it on eBay for more than you bought it for. Just kidding. You cannot do that. It's not worth anything. Trust me, I would have tried by now if it was. Alright, now I'm just kind of seating this to my piece. I'm going to wipe off. I've got a little bit of extra wood glue right
Now,
here.
just to confirm, this is not final. The shape will still change
yeah, I'm still
as you
looking
go.
at it.
It's still pliable.
It's still pliable. My glue is not hardened yet.
Sheila's bumping it to 80, but she's
But-
bumping it,
wait,
but nobody's offering any money.
That's not how this works.
I don't understand.
No, I don't like this right here. I might, but then at least I feel like I've got my top and my bottom look pretty good, and then I just need to work out this curvature a little bit. Yeah, it's still got plenty of play. Is that better? And then I just need to work on these here.
Ooh, I think I just learned a new word. Squoval.
That's cool. I don't consider
It's
that
not really an oval. Or it wasn't. It was looking like a squoval.
This guy right here, huh?
Yep.
Is my curvature all wrong? Is
Yep.
that way? Do I need to soften that up a little bit?
Been saying that for years. I mean,
I'd really like to sit in the front of my piece right now.
so how long can you play around with that before the glue dries and then you're...
If my glue starts to dry, it's going to dry on the back of my piece, even if I want to get it off. I'll just push this in. I mean, as long as I keep moving it, it's not going to settle into
Oh,
the
that looks
piece.
nice.
Does that look better?
Yeah.
I feel like you're not being very
No, I think that looks better than the other side, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was
It's
good
got a
on the
little
other
better
side.
curve to it. Yeah, see, that's nice.
That's nice.
That's nice.
Really? Yeah, I definitely need
Oh,
to
man.
sit where you are. No?
I don't appreciate it when you doubt me.
Alright, I'm coming back to it. Yeah, I mean, that looks okay to me.
All right, why don't you come back here and take a quick look?
I don't want to burn myself on this crock pot again.
Crackpot? I need a pointer.
A radius would
Of course,
really,
me being me, then I
I'll
got
have
a
to find a
pointer.
radius that I can use. even a little
Like that,
too
yeah,
wide.
down between the third and the fourth drawer. Kind of on the other side, looks a little funky.
Here?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, see.
Huh? Just one of those that could have a conversation with himself. It's okay. Oh yeah, you ruined Sheila's week.
I ruined it.
You ruined Sheila's week. She thought it was Thursday. She was thinking she'd have to go into work for another day.
I'm so excited for that. That's why I'm in such a good mood on Thursday nights. It means I made it through another week with my kids home, never going to school again.
It means your kids lived another week. All right, you can come back.
I don't hate this.
Okay.
You guys are crazy.
No, drawers aren't going to be an issue later on, right? You just cut whatever as
Everything's
they
cut.
open. I mean, if you needed to.
Yeah, it's actually cut a little bit long. So I cut these all a little bit long. But I could just come and sand this little edge off, flush to the top of my drawer right here. And then you can see that each drawer opens independently. See, that's a little,
Huh?
it's a little bit long.
Can't take you
That one
anywhere.
that one just
That's just
self-cut.
gonna, yeah. Don't worry about that.
I need to cut it anyway, so. But yeah, all the drawers will open independently, and you can see how they're gonna be, they're gonna have their own shape on them. So stick with me, guys. Trust me. Trust me. I always pull it out in the end, okay? Even if I doubt myself, I always pull it out in the end. So, but what I wanna do is I wanna come back and compare what it looks like totally plain front, and then what I can do, let me tape this right here.
Yeah, it's not in the middle.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying. A little more.
You're driving me nuts.
Oh, man.
Okay, and then what I can do to a piece by just adding the moldings to it. So they're really fun to play with. I'm going to wrap this top piece around my sides. And I like it.
I feel like this
I think you guys
relationship
are-
isn't working for me.
You guys are nuts.
It's me. It's not them.
Oh, they like it?
I just saved everybody.
I'm going to be able to read what you're saying, by the way, just so you know.
It's okay.
It's going to look good. Trust me, right? I think I'm okay.
It's like Brooke said. I don't hate this. With you in quotes.
I'm going to get a radius so that I can perfect this. But I've got some playtime in it. And you guys saw how much playtime
It does get fixed. I know that.
With heating, putting it back again, heating it, putting it back again. This piece right here that I have not played with at all, this is nice and sandwiched to my piece. And I'll let this dry overnight before I add paint to it. Let your glue dry overnight before you add paint to it. Otherwise, the moisture from your paint can soften your glue if you put it on too soon. Don't ask me how I learned that. It makes your moldings fall off if you paint them too soon. So I'm going to wait overnight before I add paint to anything. But then you can imagine I can take all these details that I've added and I'll have some gilding waxes on them when I'm done. And I'll have my stripe paint up here. I'm probably going to have some bold flowers to transfer.
Any broke squirrels?
Kind of going on. No broke squirrels on this one. We're just going with WoodUbend on this guy. This set. So, anyway, I'm going to go.
You don't say.
I'm going to go. I don't need to
I'm
go
out.
anymore. You guys have been
Really bothering me.
Maybe deliver my crap. What? What? That's pretty good.
Oh, man.
So I'll find a radius that works.
A hubcap. Or...
yeah. I need to go up to my car. Do you have a crowbar? Just curious.
I need this here window.
All right, you guys. I'm gonna pop off. I'm gonna finish working on these and get these posted up for you guys. You guys will see. Don't you ever doubt me.
Oh, Sheila picked up on the two white things that look like they're sitting on top.
Oh, it's a bed frame. I have a huge bed frame I'm working on. This bed frame is massive. It's taller than me. But I'm working on, that's the footboard back there. So it's just got some slick stick on it right now. And then I started painting my RV cabinets, and now I'm working on these. I'm all over the map right now. So,
just for
let
now.
you guys go. But if you guys want to try out WoodUbend, they're really fun. And I really recommend the rope moldings because they're a lot of fun to play with. And then any of these medallions, and you can kind of pair them together in different combinations. But I like the versatility of the rope moldings. And then a few of these medallions. But check out my link above. Dixie Belle carries a variety of these. And play around with them and see what they can do to a flat front piece like this. The designs you can create are pretty phenomenal.
What glue did you use?
For the last time, guys. Ready? Bottoms up. Cheers. Type on Quick and Thick is my adhesive of choice.
Apologizing a day in advance for any hangovers the following day.
Call in sick tonight. It makes it a lot easier in the morning.
Makes it a little weird that you called in the night before.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah.
They're watching this too. Everybody is. But play with WoodUbend. See what you can do with it. And like I said, the link that I put above in the post, you can find some WoodUbend moldings. I'm also going to add a link to woodubend.com where you can go and find your retailer for your WoodUbend moldings, any that you don't see online. You can check out a retailer. So you guys go, have a good week. Get some Type on Quick and Thick too. It's in my Amazon shop.
Are you done?
All right, have a good night. Happy Tuesday, you guys.